Some outfits look better almost immediately, not because they are more expensive, not because they are more complicated, not because the woman wearing them has added 10 more things. Usually it is something much smaller than that. A texture, a placement, a material that changes how the light hits the outfit, a detail that gives the look shape without making it feel overworked. And once you start seeing those details, you realize that the difference between an outfit that feels flat and one that feels quietly elevated is often not the whole outfit at all. It is one better decision. That is what I want to talk about today, because right now, some of the outfits that feel the most modern are not built through more styling. They are built through better pieces, more specific pieces, pieces that do more with less. Welcome to GTWJ. Hi, I'm Ju, and before we begin, grab a cup of coffee, tea, or something nice to drink and settle in. Because today we're talking about the pieces that instantly upgrade any outfit in spring 2026. And what I love about this conversation is that it is not really about buying a whole new wardrobe. It is about understanding what actually changes the level of a look. Because many outfits are not bad. They are just unfinished, too flat, too literal, too dependent on basic formulas that no longer create enough tension or enough interest. And the pieces we're talking about today correct that very quickly. The first one is the scarf at the waist. And I want to begin here because this is one of the smartest shifts happening right now. Not the scarf around the neck in the obvious way, not the scarf tied like a costume detail, not the scarf used in a way that feels too polished or too studied. I mean the scarf at the waist, tied softly, a little off-center, almost casually, over trousers, over satin pants, over a very simple base outfit. And what is beautiful about it is that it does something a belt cannot do in quite the same way. A belt closes the outfit, a scarf softens it. That is the difference. The scarf at the waist still gives the body an anchor point. It still creates shape. It still breaks the outfit in the right place. But it does it with movement, with lightness, with much more ease. And that is exactly why it feels so right now. Because women do want structure. But they do not always want hard structure. They want shape without stiffness, definition without force, an outfit that feels composed but still alive. That is what the waist scarf gives. You put it over a white tee and cream trouser, and suddenly the whole outfit has intention. You put it over a tank and darker pant, and the look becomes much more directional. You put it over a satin trouser, and the contrast between softness and control becomes very elegant. And I think that is why this detail feels so strong, because it gives styling without looking like you tried to style. That is a very important distinction. A lot of women want their outfits to look better, but they do not want the outfit to look busy. They do not want the outfit to look like it has been worked on too aggressively. They want that feeling of ease, but real ease, not laziness. The scarf at the waist gives you exactly that. It also changes the emotional feeling of the outfit. A belt can sometimes make the look feel stricter, more fixed, more complete in a way that leaves less room for the woman herself. A scarf feels more human than that. It moves, it folds, it softens the transition between top and trouser. It makes the outfit feel less rigid and more lived in. And I think that is one of the biggest upgrades a woman can make right now. Not adding more jewelry, not adding another layer, not trying to force personality through obvious styling, just changing the center of the outfit in a softer, more intelligent way. That is why this works. The second piece is satin trousers, or what I would really call liquid trousers. And this is one of the clearest visual upgrades you can make right now because the change is immediate. You put on the right satin trouser and suddenly even a basic knit looks more elegant. A simple black top looks more deliberate. A plain tank suddenly belongs to a much more elevated conversation. That is the power of movement, and that is really what these trousers bring. They reflect light differently. They fall differently. They create a kind of softness that still feels luxurious, not fluffy softness, not weak softness, controlled softness. That is why they matter. I think many women still underestimate how much a trouser can change the entire intelligence of an outfit. They think of trousers in a very functional way, neutral, basic, something that just needs to fit properly. But the right trouser does much more than fit. It creates atmosphere. And satin trousers do that immediately. They bring fluidity into the outfit without removing polish. They make the silhouette feel longer. They create movement at the bottom half, which is especially powerful if the top is kept simple and quiet. This is why they work so beautifully with very clean tops. A fine knit, a white tank, a short sleeve sweater, a black close-fitting tee, a cream camisole. The top does not need to perform because the trouser is already creating the richness. And I think that is why these trousers feel so modern right now. They are doing what many women want fashion to do again. They are making the outfit feel elevated without making it feel exhausting. That is a big difference because there was a time when many women were taught, directly or indirectly, that to look dressed you had to keep adding more accessories, more styling, more trend references, more visible effort. But some of the strongest outfits now are not built that way at all. They are built through one fluid, beautiful piece that changes how the rest of the outfit lands. That is exactly what satin trousers do. I also think they are especially strong because they make an outfit feel expensive without relying on obvious signifiers. There is no need for a loud shoe, no need for a difficult top, no need for aggressive styling. The fabric itself is already doing something, and the more an item can do on its own, the stronger it usually is. That is why I think every woman who wants her outfits to look better should pay attention to this piece. Not because it is a random trend, because it improves the quality of the whole silhouette. The third piece is suede, and I want to be very specific here because this is not just about a suede bag. It is about suede as a material shift, a suede bag, a suede shoe, a suede belt, a suede coat, a suede jacket, even just one suede element in the outfit, because texture is one of the most underrated ways to make a look feel richer. Most people focus first on color, then shape, then maybe brand, but texture changes the emotional tone of the outfit in a very powerful way, and suede does that beautifully. Smooth leather can be elegant, yes, but it can also be cold. It can reflect light in a way that feels harder, shinier, more obvious. Suede is different. It absorbs light, it feels drier, softer, more inward, more nuanced. That is why it makes an outfit feel instantly deeper. A very simple outfit with a suede tote feels more thoughtful than the same outfit with a glossy bag. A clean trouser and knit with a suede shoe feels more grounded. A soft spring outfit with a suede belt or suede outer layer suddenly has weight without heaviness. That is what makes it so useful. And I think this matters especially now because outfits are getting quieter, and when outfits get quieter, surface and material become more visible. If the clothes are simple, the texture has nowhere to hide. That is why suede is having such a strong effect. It brings depth without noise, luxury without shouting, interest without decoration, and that is one of the most beautiful kinds of fashion. I also love suede because it stops an outfit from looking too polished in the dead way. Too perfect, too hard, too eager to appear expensive. Suede makes the outfit feel more lived in, more personal, a little more relaxed but not casual. And that balance is very difficult to create because one of the reasons some outfits fall flat is that every surface looks the same finish, the same visual temperature, the same kind of polish from top to bottom. The eye gets bored. Suede interrupts that in the best possible way, not through a loud color, not through hardware, not through some dramatic design move, just through material. And material is often where real taste begins. A woman who understands texture does not need to overstyle. She can wear very little and still look considered because the surfaces of the outfit are already having a conversation. That is why suede feels so strong to me right now. It is not just a trend, it is a better texture. The fourth piece is mesh shoes, and this is where the outfit changes in a very quiet but very decisive way. Because a mesh shoe does not announce itself loudly, it does not dominate the look, it does not make a speech, it refines the outfit almost invisibly. That is what makes it so good. A heavy shoe can interrupt everything, a predictable shoe can flatten everything. A shoe that is too literal can make the outfit feel older very quickly. But the right mesh shoe does something much more subtle than that. It lightens the foot without making the outfit weak. It softens the bottom line without destroying the silhouette. It feels modern because it almost disappears, and in disappearing, it lets the rest of the outfit become clearer. That is the magic of it. The outfit is still there, the shape is still there, the line is still there, but suddenly the whole thing feels more refined. And I think that is why these shoes matter so much right now, because women are moving away from shoes that dominate the outfit for no reason. Too much bulk, too much interruption, too much visual force at the bottom of a look that was otherwise trying to remain elegant. Mesh shoes solve that. They let longer trousers fall properly. They let satin trousers stay fluid. They let the hemline remain calm. They make the foot look lighter and the outfit look more resolved. That is very important. A lot of women still think of shoes as separate objects, beautiful or not beautiful, trendy or not trendy, comfortable or uncomfortable. But the better question is always, what does this shoe do to the outfit? And a mesh shoe, when done well, improves the outfit by reducing visual heaviness. That is why it works with so many of the pieces we're talking about today. With a satin trouser, it keeps the softness going. With a scarf at the waist, it prevents the styling from becoming too grounded or too obvious. With suede, it creates a beautiful contrast between dry texture and visual lightness. That is the level where fashion becomes interesting. When the pieces are not just individually attractive, but speaking to each other. And this is also exactly where I want to mention something important. What you are hearing in this video, this idea of texture, placement, proportion, lightness, why one detail upgrades an outfit and another detail cheapens it. Why one material creates elegance and another creates noise. None of that happens randomly. It comes from understanding how clothing actually works. And that is exactly what the architecture of fashion is. It is not about what to wear. It is about understanding why something works, why one outfit feels clear and another does not, and how to build that for yourself without constantly guessing. Because once you understand that, everything changes. And that is very different from the issues. The issues are where I explore fashion in real time. Issue 005 is now available. And this one goes deeper into identity, integrity, and how we present ourselves in a culture that keeps asking women to become more polished, more performative, and less clear. They are not the same. The book builds the structure. The issues expand it through what is happening now. Everything is linked below if you want to go deeper. Now, the fifth thing that instantly upgrades an outfit is the clean, simple top. And I know at first that might sound too basic, but this is exactly where many women lose the outfit without realizing it. Because a top can either let the rest of the look breathe, or it can ruin everything by trying to do too much. And what is striking in so many of the looks we have been talking about is that the top is often extremely calm. A white tee, a clean sleeveless top, a short sleeve knit, a simple black top, a soft cream camisole, nothing too eventful, nothing too decorative, nothing begging to be noticed first. And that is why it works. The top is creating visual rest. And visual rest is one of the most luxurious things in dressing. If every part of the outfit is demanding equal attention, the result becomes noisy very quickly. But if the top is clean enough, then the satin trouser can move, the suede can deepen the look, the waist scarf can style the center, the mesh shoe can refine the line. That is how a strong outfit works. Not every item needs to be a main character. A woman who understands this dresses very differently from a woman who does not. She knows when the outfit already has enough. She knows when the top should be calm. She knows when the beauty of the outfit is happening through placement and texture, not through another design feature. That is why I think clean tops matter so much now. Not because basics are exciting on their own, because they let exciting things land properly. And that is a very important distinction. The sixth thing is the base itself, because really underneath all of this, what upgrades the outfit is not just one piece in isolation. It is the fact that the base is clean enough to allow that one piece to matter. That is what I keep seeing in the kinds of outfits that feel strongest right now. The colors are controlled, the shapes are simple, the silhouette is readable, nothing is fighting. Then one thing enters and changes the level. The satin trouser, the suede bag, the scarf at the waist, the mesh shoe. That is the real system. And this is why some women can wear almost nothing and still look incredibly stylish, while another woman wears far more and somehow still looks unresolved. The first woman understands base. The second woman is trying to compensate for not understanding it. That is the difference. A strong base does not need chaos. It does not need 10 accessories. It does not need desperate styling choices trying to prove fashion knowledge. It just needs the right interruption. That is exactly what these pieces are. They are not random additions. They are precise interruptions. The scarf interrupts the waistline in a softer way. The satin trouser interrupts the flatness of a simple outfit through movement. The suede interrupts smooth surfaces through depth. The mesh shoe interrupts heaviness through lightness. That is why they work. And that is why I think this conversation matters, because when women say they want their outfits to look better, what they often mean is that they want the outfit to feel more complete, more elegant, more expensive, more modern, more alive. And usually that does not come from buying more of the same. It comes from choosing a piece that changes the visual logic of the outfit. That is exactly what all of these pieces do. The waist scarf makes the outfit feel styled without being stiff. The satin trouser makes it feel fluid and expensive. The suede element makes it feel richer and more dimensional. The mesh shoe makes it feel lighter and more refined. The clean top allows all of that to happen without collapse. The calm base keeps the whole look from turning into noise. That is the upgrade. And that is also why I think so many people misunderstand fashion. They treat clothing as separate items to collect rather than as a system of effects. But fashion is not interesting because a piece is nice on its own. Fashion gets interesting when you understand what that piece does, how it changes the line, how it changes the movement, how it changes the emotional temperature of the outfit, how it changes what feels modern. That is the level where style becomes much more useful. You stop asking only what is trending. You stop asking only what other people are buying. You stop asking only whether something is pretty, and you start asking a much better question. What does this do to the outfit? That question changes everything, because once you start dressing that way, you stop overbuying random things that look good in isolation but do nothing for your wardrobe. You stop filling the closet with beautiful fragments that never become a coherent look. You start editing more clearly. You start recognizing what deserves space in your wardrobe and what does not. That is real progress in style, not more, better. And I think that is why spring 2026 feels interesting, because for all the conversation around trends, what is actually happening is that women are becoming more selective about what changes the outfit meaningfully. They are less interested in obvious styling for its own sake, less interested in noisy trend performance, less interested in dressing like a mood board, and more interested in details that genuinely improve the silhouette. That is a much better direction. And it is also much more sustainable emotionally, because you stop feeling like you need a whole new identity every few months. You just start learning what kinds of decisions make you look more like yourself, but stronger. That is the real upgrade. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. Most outfits do not need more. They need one better decision, a better texture, a better placement, a softer anchor, a lighter shoe, a richer surface, a cleaner base. That is where the change happens. And once you really see that, you cannot unsee it. Thank you so much for being here. Everything is linked below, including the architecture of fashion and issue 005. And as always, this is not about becoming someone else. It is about seeing more clearly what already works for you, what already feels aligned, and building that into something stronger over time. Fashion is not about what you wear. It is about how you choose to exist, with intention, with restraint, and with self-trust. We are not collecting tips. We are building identity architecture.